Alright guys, we're back. Here's to the recap of Rlcs Season 9 Week 5 matches. We're going to go over NA and EU. Now, I told you guys originally that it'd be a little bit before I had these recap matches out because I was on vacation. Well, they actually got back a couple days earlier than I thought. So, we're here. Here we are. But as to when will I have the recap for the Week 6 matches out, will I have them out right after this? Just remember, guys, it's a total of 24 hours of Rocket League to watch, right? 6 hours for Europe, 6 hours for NA in Europe over the weekend, and then another like 12 hours today on Monday, where I'm recording this. Like, look, I don't know a normal person who has that much time to just sit and watch Rocket League without taking a break. So I'm gonna try to get the Week 6 recaps out as soon as I can, but it's gonna take me a couple days just to watch it because I have a life. Please remember that. I have to do shit. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm just going to go through a little bit per day, and we're just going to get through it, and then I'll have the recap out. Because, honestly, I have so much free time some weekends, and even I barely have time to finish all these matches. Like, Jesus Christ. They're literally pouring 24 hours of content out in 3 days. It's crazy. But, yeah, as always, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe. We'll keep doing more of these. Cover everything RLCS. Today we're going to go in an in-depth analysis of why some teams lost, why some teams won, and just all the matches. All right, let's get right into it. So, Week 5, we started off with the United versus Flight, and geez, Memory, welcome to the RLCS. Memory has not done anything all season, but today, Memory showed that he has potential to be the best player on Flight. Memory popped off. He was scoring everything. As we all know, United have a very defensive playstyle, and with Seabass, Rapid, and Memory all playing just amazing offense, United could not get out of their own half. It was just it was a slaughter. And Flight deserved to win that game. Like, it was the best game we've ever seen from Flight. If they can pull off more of that, like, where was that during the C9 game? Like, where was that, Flight? If Flight can bring that out during their game against Rogue, so in Week 8, Rogue versus Flight, that's gonna be a big match. Cloud9, Rogue, and Flight all right now are looking like they have an equal shot at that auto relegation spot. I think Cloud9 and Flight a little more because I think if Rogue beats Flight in Week 8, then they'll have no shot at the bottom spot. But yeah, it's just the fact that Flight beat United just opens up a whole new ballpark for possibilities. Flight's looking great. And then we have Ghost Gaming versus Rogue. And man, I have some serious problems with Rogue. Like, it seemed like there was absolutely no communication with Rogue that game. They were just, like, Rogue on defense the first couple games looked abysmal. But then the last couple games, to close it out, Rogue looked like they actually got their defense together. Things were looking good. And I want to say, I think Wonder played a much better game. I always give Wonder a lot of crap for not playing well. He played fine. He played fine this week. Nothing spectacular, nothing too detrimental to the team. I think that it was really just a lot of communication errors from Rogue. There were just times where maybe they double commit when they shouldn't, or maybe you think, well, who's going for that ball? Defense was abysmal some games, like on the goal line. They really needed to call who was going for certain balls. But then you also got to give credit to Illusion. Illusion always has a great week. Why are we surprised at this point? Like, Illusion was doing everything. He was scoring. He was going for key bump goals to open up the net. I mean, part of why Rogue's defense was so shaky was because Illusion was literally taking two of their players out at once and opening up a free goal. But at other times, I mean, Illusion just played great. I think it really came down to the fact that the Ghost Gaming offense was just too overwhelming. But remember, Ghost Gaming is projected to be a top 6 team, maybe a top 4 team, and Rogue still took 2 games off. Rogue has the potential to be a great team, and I think they really showed it this week. I think First Killer played great, Carnovi played great, Wonder played decent, and yeah, but Ghost Gaming just the better offense, but Rogue, I mean, they had a chance. They really had a chance to take that. Like, if they could have upset that, I called it, guys. I even said that Rogue, out of any team, has the ability to upset more than all the other teams because they're still becoming accustomed to First Killer, working on their play style. It seems like they've taken a little bit longer than some of the other teams, but today's Monday. Today, Rogue versus PK. I'm so excited for that. I want to see how Rogue does. I think Rogue really has a shot to beat PK. I don't think it'll happen, but they have a shot. and I think it'll be a good match. Next, we have Sonic versus PK. Oh my gosh, this was really where do I begin? So both teams came out in the PK Sonic match with very different play styles. Sonic and PK both took a very slow approach. Well, originally, so when PK started off playing slow, maybe to kind of counteract Sonic's very fast-paced, quick counter play style, and then, but in PK it looks like they were hoping to get some wins off of just slowing down the game, and they did. But then Sonics countered right back. They played slow as well, and the problem is, well, both teams are playing slow and giving so much space. Well, PK was actually struggling to do anything with that space after Sonics slowed down their gameplay. And the thing is, every time Sonic would slow down the ball, they would be able to break it out of their own half, set up a play, score the ball. But when PK were also trying to take a slow, Sonics were just outplaying them in the midfield department. See, PK just weren't able to do anything with the space that Sonics were giving them, and Sonics were able to counter because, I mean, PK is not a slow team. They're not meant to play slow. They're meant for demos, just very quick plays. I mean, that's who PK is. They're not like an E United who literally do nothing but sit in defense all game, right? So I think it was very interesting each game watching both teams switch up their play style to try to outplay the other. In the end, it really came down to the fact that PK just wasn't able to counter Sonic's play style, and Sonics got the advantage and they won. So we have E United versus G2. It was a very awkward match, to say the least, right when it started, because it looks like both teams were taking it very slow. E United was trying to play more offensive, and G2 was trying to slow down themselves on the pitch a little bit more. It was very weird. I think G2 should have just went with their original play style, just going full force, you know, JNaps to Chicago to Rizzo, just getting everyone involved, all the offense. It looks like the first game G2 struggled a little bit, maybe just to find their footing. I don't know what it really was, but I mean, then after that, E United kept it close actually, but G2, because E United gave them so much space, G2 just had all day in the midfield to make these great passing plays. And I think JNaps had 100% goal participation. I mean, JNaps, as always, he played great. Like, just one of the best players in the world, like we're used to him playing at this point. So yeah, great showing from him. I mean, it's 100% goal participation. That's insane. That means it was either JNaps with the solo play or JNaps in Chicago. I think, if I do remember correctly, I think Rizzo had a 0% goal participation this game. Like I said, I think it was really Rizzo kind of having an off day, which is why they looked a little bit shaky, but I'm sure they'll fix it later today in their game against the Ghost. SSG versus C9. I think this was the best game that Squishy played all season. Cloud9 actually looked like more of a competent team. Gimmick had some great defensive plays, but at the end of the day, SSG I think is just a far higher skilled team than Cloud9. Like, look, I think Cloud9 played good today, but SSG, I mean, let's just go over SSG and how they play. SSG has 3 insane players that always pop off. It's not a question of if they'll pop off. They always do. Depending on the day, if it's either AXB is striking or Arsenal is cleaning up the C9 defense with some demos, and then Sipical just kind of picks, okay, am I going to play off of Arsenal? Am I going to play off of AXB? And all Sipical has to do is choose who he wants to play off of, because they give each other so many options. And AXB is going for these crazy nuts drop down off the corner double taps, and they're just a high-powered, very fast, very quick offense. They just work very well together. They're like a machine, and not a lot of teams can keep up with them, right? I mean, it's crazy having 3 players who always perform very, very well and very, very in sync. But yeah, SSG easily take that game, but Cloud9 did put up a really good show. I think that was one of the best games they had all season. And then NRG versus PK. Like, wow, this was an insane match. Easily the best match of the day. If you guys didn't watch any match, go watch the NRG versus PK match. All I'll say is Justin really showed why people consider him to be the best player in the world. Justin he was playing on another level this game, hitting flip resets after mechanical outplay. Turbo had a classic turbo goal. NRG was easily looking amazing. PK looked great too. I mean, the problem was I don't think AJ did a lot this game. I think that PK had a chance to beat NRG maybe if AJ stepped it up more, but Rlcs did everything. I think Rlcs had game of his life, but Rlcs can't carry PK against NRG alone, right? Rlcs needs a little bit of help every now and then. Rlcs was scoring everything. When you thought there's no way PK could score this, Rlcs would come out with some just insane boomer and a well-placed shot, a well-thought-out play, and he would score. But yeah, no. Justin was hitting flip reset after flip reset. I think I saw him go for a double flip reset at one point. I mean, it was just crazy. It was just crazy, the things that he was doing. I'm actually shocked that PK kept it that close with just the way NRG was playing. But yeah, Justin had easily the best game of his season. Go watch that game if you haven't. Now let's move on to Europe. All right, so we started off with TSM versus Singularity. So you're gonna notice a classic theme in this European Week 5 matches, and it was the fact that I think every team in Europe woke up and completely forgot how to play offense. I mean, it was just most of these games, except the last couple games, were just teams trying to play defense to win games, and it was so frustrating, so boring. I think I was very bored watching most of these matches just because of how these teams were coming out and playing. Like, I know a lot of these teams have the potential to play better. They were not. I don't think a lot of these teams were playing well. I don't know what it was. If it was the nerves, maybe some of these teams don't want to drop down, or I don't know. The play styles that they came out with hurt them. It really did. And we're going to talk about that. So TSM versus Singularity. TSM gave way too much space. I don't think TSM understood what offense was. TSM was just sitting on their goal line, not covering their backboard sometimes. So you might be wondering, well, how is TSM able to win 2 games? Well, because Singularity didn't understand what defense was either. Game 5, the score was 1-0, and the goal that was scored was on an empty net at the end. There was 3 one-goal games. It was literally just both of them sitting back and just trying not to make a mistake. I don't really have anything great to say about these matches, or about TSM versus Singularity. It really came down to they were just trying to play so safe, and I think that was because both these teams are kind of at the bottom, and they really need these wins, especially TSM. TSM's looking at a relegation tournament spot right now. I think that actually hurt them, how safe they were trying to play. You got to try to make stuff happen. The only way you can win games by playing defense is if your opponent is also playing defense, but then it's like if your opponent's playing defense, go play offense. They're letting you play offense, but yeah, both these teams didn't want to do anything. It was just hard to watch. But yeah, Singularity took it just because of a random open net game 5 goal, 1-0. It was just, yeah. Veloce versus ASM. Do I even have to talk about this one? Veloce played how we're used to them, just playing a bunch of defense. ASM, a bunch of defense. I mean, ASM to start off the game whiffed on the goal line to let in a goal. It was just, I mean, the thing is, at least when Veloce were playing defense, they played it well. ASM played it so poorly. I think Veloce was actually they're playing defensive, but they were playing well, right? Like, they were playing their play style well. So that's why they were able to get the win. ASM was so shaky, and there were just a lot of mistakes, and Veloce were able to capitalize on them. So that's why Veloce won. But then we have Reciprocity versus Endpoint, and oh my god, I don't even want to think about this game. Reciprocity put up so many shots. Reciprocity came out with probably the worst playstyle out of all of them. They might as well just play defense. So instead of like most of these teams in Europe who want to just play defense, Reciprocity said, okay, we're going to play very dumb offense. And Reciprocity was just putting as many shots as they could on net without thinking about where they were placing the ball. Reciprocity is putting up over 10 shots a game in some cases, and all of them were being saved because they were not quality shots. The only reason Endpoint didn't win is because overall they're just not a good team. They really just can't counter Reciprocity, but I don't know what Reciprocity was thinking. Like, there was so many plays where if they just take one more pass, or instead of putting it on net very weak, hit it off the backboard, and you have an open net or something for your teammate. Like, they were just pounding shots on net for 4 games straight. They looked so shaky. Shawzet didn't do anything. I'm very disappointed in Shawzet the last 3 weeks. He played well the first couple weeks, and now, yeah, nothing. Shawzet hasn't done anything. Yeah, but really, Endpoint. They didn't have an offense. They didn't have a defense. I will say, Virtuoso, the reason they won one of those games is because Virtuoso did step up. Virtuoso had over 1,000 points in game 1 with 8 saves. But remember, A lot of he had 8 saves, but it was because Reciprocity put on no quality shots. It was just easy savable shots, right? I think Endpoint got like 15 saves game 1 or something. It was ridiculous. It just wasn't good Rocket League. It looks like these teams were not playing their game. They were trying. A lot of these teams in Europe this week were trying to play a new play style that would maybe counter their opponent's play style, but it just backfired because no one was playing their game. And I think that the best way for you to win games is play your game, right? Play the game that you've been practicing in scrims. Don't try to change up everything unless things aren't working. Go out and try to play your game. If you're losing, then yeah, change things up. But don't come out playing terrible just because maybe you're scared. I don't know. Some of these teams. And then Mouse versus TSM. Again, it was such a defensive game. TSM were playing so defensive, but Mouse couldn't shoot the ball. Like, Scrub Killer was doing nothing. Speed was missing shots. I think Cookster was the only one who was playing well on Mouse. And it was able to shoot the ball, but no one else. Speed couldn't shoot. Mouse didn't need to play defense because TSM were playing so much defense with no offense. But then Mouse was also playing very slow, like very defensive in some points as well. And like, I don't recommend going to watch these. It's actually confusing watching these guys play sometimes. Like, I think Mouse was also trying to play a very defensive game because no one could shoot that day. Like, Scrub Killer couldn't shoot or make anything happen. But since Scrub knows that he's very good on defense, he was trying to play defensive as well, but that's not how you want to win games. Hurts my brain thinking about. Hurts my brain. Play your game. None of these teams were playing their game. I guess if TSM's game, I think TSM's game is sitting back and doing nothing all game because that's what they do every game. So at least TSM was playing their game, right? They sat back and did nothing. But Mouse, just play your game. Like, they should have won that so much more convincingly. I think they were playing down to their opponents. That's just kind of the team that Mouse is. It looks like at this point, like, they'll play up to their opponents. They'll play really good against Dignitas, but then they play really bad against TSM. Still take the win, but that just means they're playing their opponent's game, and Mouse shouldn't be doing that. And here we go, baby. Barcelona versus Dignitas. This game was so fucking good, dude. Oh my god, it was worth the 4 shitty games before that, alright? It was just so worth it. Getting to watch this game. Oh my gosh, Flakes popped off. Flakes played in the, what was it? Was it the Roadhog, I think Flakes played in? Yeah, I think he was playing in the Roadhog. I don't even know what car he's playing in at this point, but he's always in a different car. And Flakes is just, I think Flakes is one of the most calculated players, the most patient players in all of Europe. Like, there's this one play, I think in game 3, where he could have taken the shot on net, but instead he cuts around the ball to fake out a defender, passes it to like Ronicky or Devo, I forget who he passes it to, and they just have this really cool way of outplaying their opponents. Very smart, very calculated, great awareness. But at the end of the day, Astral woke up the final 2 games, and he played lights out mechanically, and it was just, I mean, the match was just insane to watch. Both teams played phenomenal. Watch the end of that game, and Astral really will make your nipples hard just with some of the shit he was hitting. But yeah, nothing but praise for that match. And then Vitality versus Rec. Look, I think Reciprocity was plagued with the same exact problem. They were just putting shots on net without even thinking, right? They were just pounding shots on net, and against a Vitality that looked this strong, K-Dop came out with the game of his life. K-Dop hit like this flip reset ceiling shot coming off. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna play the clip. All right, play the clip of what the fuck was this, K-Dop? This is the first time I've ever seen a shot like this hit in RLCS. Like, I don't even know what you call that. Like a flip reset ceiling shot, but like it would look cooler. I don't know, dude. And K-Dop was hitting so many nut shots. The difference between Vitality and Rec is that Vitality were putting on quality shots, insane mechanics, insane outplays, but then Reciprocity, nothing, none of that. It was just very stale. I think it has to do with the fact that they just didn't have any teamwork going on. Instead of passing to each other and trying to create those outplays, they were just taking shots on that, and that's never gonna work against a Vitality that's this good, that's this strong. So yeah, Vitality really took that. I mean, go watch that game. I mean, the Vitality Rec game was another great game to watch. It was just entertaining in every way, shape, and form. Biggest thing about Europe is I really need some of these teams to just start playing their game. Like, don't come out scared. Don't come out playing defensive. For Loche, we've seen you come out and play amazing when you guys play offense. Like, Mouse, stop playing down to your opponents. TSM, learn to get out of your back half. Like, stop playing defense, TSM. Reciprocity, start taking quality shots. Dignitas and Barcelona and Vitality, nothing to say about you guys. You guys played great. But yeah, man, it was just so hard to watch some of these matches in week 5. It was just, I just feel like a lot of these teams weren't able to play the way they wanted to, and that's a problem. But yeah, that's it. That's my recap for week 5. Yeah, if there's any match you guys should watch, it's the NRG match and then the Dignitas Barcelona match. I mean, those 2 matches were just so fucking good. I mean, also the Vitality wreck. Vitality played like one of the best games of Rocket League we've seen in a while. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I guess I'm gonna go watch some of the doubleheader today. Like I said, it's gonna take me a little bit to get through that. I actually have stuff going on. Like, I don't know one person who can sit down and watch 3 days worth of 24 hours of Rocket League. It's just crazy. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, hit subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.